Hello, class. I'm Michael Bolton, back again. Um, we are coming into week 6, I think. So, with this lesson, we were given an informative speech. So, for mine, I chose to talk about something that's very near and dear to my heart, and that is Kempo, which is very, very, really close to my heart right now. I practice almost 4 or 5 times a week, 4 to 5, more like 4 times. Sometimes it's pretty exhausting. Being in the military, of course, I have that job. Over 2 weeks ago, I was given the opportunity to become an instructor, um, and I've received my red belt, which is for senpais. You have a senpai, you have a sensei, and then you have your masters, who are overall, they're like the leaders of whatever dojo or facility that is operating within an area normally. Um, the creator of Kempo, believe it or not, it's called Fred J. Villari. Um, of course, Shaolin Kempo. It is a form of karate, um, and you can look that up on. You can Google Fred J. Villari, and you'll be able to find a whole lot of information on him on the internet. He has books. Some schools are named after him, and you also can look up Shaolin Kempo Karate and find the history, like I said, that or Wikipedia. Also, one of my masters who actually teach me is Master Chris Santillo, and it's the art of Shaolin Kempo as taught as Potomac Kempo. There are 5 dojos in the area. There used to be 6 total. So a little bit of background on Kempo. Shaolin Kempo is a martial arts style that combines 5 animals of Shaolin Kung Fu. Now we notice that a lot of martial arts, if you've watched a lot of martial art movies, a lot of forms are kind of drawn to animalistic behaviors in some sense. Um, you know, but the core competency is considered of Kempo. It's a hard hitting linear explosives. I mean, a lot of Kempo is hard, but some is also soft too. But don't get it confused. I mean, and when it means linear, it means strike punches, hard hitting punches that are more direct and linear. Everything you do is driving is linear. This is considered circular, and you never, because this is not, it's not enough strength unless you're doing this, and this is a circular motion. But it's always good to have like a good linear strike, and that's what it is. Full contact sport, not really used in the Olympics or anything. Um, it's linear explosiveness of traditional karate, as well as the power of the Western boxing and the fighting and grappling arts of Jiu-Jitsu, Shina, and Mongolia wrestling. So it is kind of considered one of the first forms, not so much the first forms of mixed martial arts, what we have nowadays, as with anything, of course, with technology and everything, it advances over time. A lot of this stuff was basic when it was in China and Japan, but forms have since then created, merged, and whatever. And that's a fun thing about Kempo. You can take it and you can add and do whatever you like. Come creative. What I've learned is like the basic move of a horse stance. Have you ever seen someone ride a horse? Horse stances are the same way. You see wide legs, and there's for a reason to keep good balance. Your your hands are up high, chambered, and you have a horse stance as if you were riding a horse, feet straight forward. So that gives you a good balance. And you're kind of like in a squat, as if you were sitting on a horse. So if someone wants to come push you backwards or forward, you're more than likely to have your balance. So it is always good to keep a horse stance. We more so practice with the fighting stance, which you would have either your left foot forward, right foot back, shoulder width apart to make it even, so you can always counterweight your weight resisting gravity. And that is very important when fighting. It's always keeping a good posture, your back straight as you possibly can. There are some various moves, but the key is that you always want to keep a good square stance at some point in time. And it doesn't matter whether your left foot is forward or your right foot is forward, and the opposite foot is back, or whatever the case. We don't like to use left or right. We say the opposite. As long as even if you keep a left foot forward and a right foot back, that means anybody can walk up behind you and push you forward. You can do a slight bend in your knees forward and sink your weight in to your hips, because the core drives a lot. So that is where you want to focus a lot of your energy, is the core of your solar plexus and your hips. It's shifting your weight to keep yourself upright and always ready and on guard. I mean, it is very important, because you want to always keep a good fighting stance, and you always want to keep your guard. And like I said, right now you may not be able to see, my left foot is forward, my right foot is back. I'm feet or shoulder width apart to make sure I am not able to be pushed left, or even if I'm pushed left or right, I'm carrying my weight, keeping my back straight. And like I said, with the core, and this is just some basic punches and basic stances, starting for the most part. But you want to always protect your face. I mean, this is just the basics. Of course, it gets a little bit more advanced, but you want to always keep a good fist. A good fist means your thumbs are in. This is bad. This is good. This is bad sometimes in an aspect. Well, notice the fingers are over the thumb. It kind of limits the power in your fist, and punching is very important. These are very weak. The very two last knuckles, it's more like a gristle. Front to knuckle punches is what we call these. The front two knuckles are the strongest. Those are the ones you want to always make contact with, because you notice, even if you haven't fought a lot, you're still going to have sore knuckles regardless. There's a thing called conditioning. And real quick, I want to just show you, when I'm talking about doing strikes and keeping the center of gravity, so no matter what. Right now my left foot is forward. That means I'm going to use this as my lead hand. Straight forward, punching into my chin or your opponent's chin, and then you're going to switch, punching with the trailing hand. This is what we call a trailing hand. And you always want to recover no matter what. If your opponent doesn't go down, it's always good to jump back into your guard stance to make sure you're protecting yourself at all costs. And also, there's all types of different things that you can do in Kempo, Shaolin Kempo. One of the basic forms of Shaolin Kempo is also, the first form you learn is Shaolin Kempo, is that when you're a little bit more advanced like I am, you're going to start in your left guard stance. Your hands are always going to be up. The first strike will go across. That's blocking set. You're blocking one. You want to make sure if someone is throwing a punch, you're blocking it to knock it off balance. The next will follow up with the trail foot, which you may not be able to see, but it's a trail foot, and it's a front ball kick to the shin, the back of their shin or the front of their shin or their knee, followed by a palm strike, which we go back to now to linear. Now this is the basic form where you will have it, your hand chambered here, but it acts as a ratchet, like if you are twisting, thrusting power. It acts as a whip. This provides more power as you coming back transitioning and you're coming forward. It is to create more power. Notice I still kept a centered mass. And as my master would say, and there's no such thing as perfect, but the pursuit of perfection is where you progress. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you.